Hi ladies and gents. Yes, it's been a while, a really long while in fact. What can I say? I've been here, there, on a mini fashion escapade. I've also been dragged through the trenches. But hey, I'm still here, and where do I seek solace when life throws me too many curveballs? A consequence of being a very inquisitive individual, I might add. I tend to find myself gravitating back to the things that force me to ground, look within, and basically grow through it all. Yes guys, I'm back, publicly growing, sharing, and being more expansive, and showing you how you can be more expansive here on YouTube. As usual, the choice to come back seems to be out of my hands. The intuitive nudges are so severe and intense, I had no choice. I can sense a change in the air. I can taste it, I can feel it, I can smell it. All my clairs and spidey senses are on high alert. Something incredible is on its way. I don't know if you can feel it. Hence the channel name change. I'm certain that I am not the only one that feels they are at the dawn before their era. Collectively, there has been a universal change. So with this being the case, it has led me to today's musing that I wish to share with you all. And I really want you to take this one in. We are the change we desire. Let me say that again. We are the change we desire. This has been my biggest game-changing memory as of late, and the biggest discovery I want everyone to receive in this message. And I say memory because we all know everything. We obviously have everything at our disposal, but we've forgotten. So this is why I say memory. Like I've said earlier, I have been going through a really challenging time in my home environment. In fact, it's been going on for quite a long time. It's got so bad that I have grown so tired and exhausted hearing myself speak on it with anyone. But of course, because it's such a major angst, that's all I can talk about. But more to the point, because the feeling was being generated by someone else's actions, I felt even more powerless. This entire situation became so engulfing that it was the only thing I could literally think about day and night. And as we know, where energy goes, attention flows, which in turn, as you can imagine, magnified this situation and made it even bigger than it needed to be in my world. But, you know, hear this. This story isn't about the pain I was experiencing at the hands of an incredibly annoying neighbour. No siree. No siree. Where did that come from? What does that even mean? Nope, it's more about how I discovered my own power once I came to an unwavering acknowledgement that what I was seeking was also seeking me. I wanted peace of mind. Therefore, in order for me to see the change in the situation, I had to become the change first. I had to be the change I wanted. Don't get me wrong, I can take that stance quite easily and be the change first when it comes to manifesting most things in my life. I can see it in my mind's eye, use visualization to bring the feeling and that reality that the said thing will bring into my body, and voila, there it is. I've got my manifestation. But just like most people that are suffering at the hands of someone else, this isn't more than likely the stance they want to take. You know, it's going to be very difficult. You're not going to want to do that. Yes, even Erzumah falls off the spiritual high road sometimes. I mean, listen, this has been so annoying that I was ready to revisit Erzumah circa 1994 and give her something to remember. I'm serious. But because Erzumah 2.0 is a mother of a gorgeous young adult, I felt it was more fitting to call in my reserves And so that's what I did. I called in my ancestors, my guides, the Ashon, and the god of water, the god of war, the Orishas, Joshua. I even called in Archangel Michael. But whatever I did, there was no change. This annoying situation did not change expediently. Why has God forsaken me? I thought on a few occasions. Lol, not really. I can always feel the energy of the Creator within me, outside of me, and around me. So I couldn't use that one as a cop-out. However, this did bring up some questions in my mind that needed to be looked at. One of them in particular was I in fact praying correctly? Seriously, there were crickets for so long surrounding this issue in my home. It just would not resolve itself. Obviously, this hasn't been my first time feeling hopeless and disconnected from source energy. On those rare occasions when I do get to that place and feel quite unsupported, I'm going to go to my go-to place. I'm going to rest and find myself meditating more. Now, my meditations are more akin to contemplation. I'd ask the questions I required answers for during a quiet time, mostly first thing in the morning or just before I fall asleep, or even in the day sometimes when the thought arises. But my solutions and downloads tend to come more randomly, often when I'm resting or just chilling, watching some brain-numbing programs on the box. For me, I think TV is a great channel for messages. You are at your most relaxed state of mind, of course depending on what you're watching, of course. And you don't have to do anything really to receive, because messages are often presented to you through the programs you're watching. Or it can happen when I'm doing some vigorous exercise like skipping, or I don't know, kettlebells or something like that. It's not all yoga, love and light in my world, and that's exactly how I like it. I love that the divine uses me as a vessel to bring my version of enlightenment into the world. There are so many people on their own individual path to self-discovery, and I guess the divine uses them in ways that align with them. Lifting and shifting consciousness to a higher vibration looks very different for everyone individually, which is so great and amazing. No two people are going to think or be the same. But let me just tell you what I heard out of the blue and what has assisted me to turn a corner when I was feeling hopeless. Wait for it. I heard, Erzumah, you are me and I am you. No longer will you pray to anything outside of yourself, because you are me and I am you. Yes, 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 I thought. It made sense to me, not necessarily from a mental level, but more from a soul level. Here I was asking the divine to come and save me, when all along there was no separation from the divine. Hence no separation from my solutions. Listen, I've always known that my higher self held all the answers to all that I seeked. But I guess I never put the two together. Our higher self is the God that we are seeking, and it resides in us all. Therefore, we have the power to solve all our own challenges. And I say challenges because challenges mean we can find solutions rather than problems. They just seem a bit more permanent, don't they? I mean, tradition has always taught us to ask the God in the sky for whatever our heart desired, and to keep praying until it showed up. Certain other New Age practices also say ask and it will be given. But what came to me during contemplation was the asking was an unnecessary part of it. We of course needed to show gratitude to the God within for providing what we desired in advance. For example, in my situation, I would say something along the lines of, thank you, Divine, and I'm talking about the Divine that resides in us all. Thank you for showing me how I resolved the issue with the demon neighbour, or something like that. as opposed to asking or saying something along the lines of, please God, please take me out of the situation, or please come and save me. Or when we want to manifest a physical thing, try saying something like, thank you, Divine, for reminding me of the things I did to receive my new car, for example. When you affirm that you already have something in this way, the universe will start giving you nuggets and put breadcrumbs on your path that will signpost you in the direction of the said thing you desire. It does require a level of awareness and observation, I must admit, but it works incredibly well for me. You know, I asked for a reminder as to what I did to get the end goal. So you're almost saying, I have the end goal now, but just remind me how I got there. I know it sounds a bit strange, but it really, really works. And that's how I believe you should be praying. That's like a prayer, an affirmation prayer, as opposed to, you know, one that has a lot of lack behind it, like begging the universe to give you a certain thing. I think that's akin to somebody with a lack mentality, which, you know, I know for sure I don't have. But if something hasn't showed up in my life yet, it doesn't mean I don't have it. It just means I've forgotten how to get it into my 3D world. What was happening in my world and the solutions that I was crying out to God for was already within me and has always been there. All that was needed was Erzumah circa 1994 to kick in. I'm only joking. But I'm not really joking, trust me, she almost got what she wished for. Seriously though, on the flip side, the acknowledgement that whatever is playing out in my world is a creation of my mind, my inner workings, to bring forth old behaviours and thought patterns that needed to be, brought to the surface because they no longer served me, blew my mind. It showed me how everything's interlinked. You know, every behaviour pattern is not independent of something else. Yes, ladies and gents, in our quest to be our best versions, to be able to reap from the kingdom of God, and to live in our true authenticity, our old ways of doing things, our old responses and belief systems will get called into question by the side of us that knows us best, and that's our soul. The soul's cry is always going to be the same, and it's going to be resounding. What part of our old self will we need to surrender to be able to move forward towards the next version of our evolution? I have to say I didn't know why she was in my life, but I was obviously a vibrational match at the time when she arrived at the accommodation. This was at the end of 2020 when I had closed my fashion label and my 23-year relationship had ended too. So there is a possibility that I was a little bit low vibing at that time. Am I a vibrational match to her now? Absolutely not. Hence the reason I chose to be the change I wanted to see first. If I was on the same vibration as her, I would have been in war mode still. I'm more concerned with winning and getting back at her, but that just isn't the case. This situation has made me feel like a victim of my circumstances for a long time. But at a soul level, I knew this situation wasn't an isolated one. I had to accept that this mindset of feeling like a victim had been something that was with me for a long time, and was an old belief that I thought I had dealt with, but evidently not. It's imperative that we look beyond the aggravator and go on a quest to find out what is being mirrored to us. No more will I be a victim of old belief systems that keep trying to trigger me. I now know that they're trying to trigger me because the response will show me that the issue is still alive in my vibration, and I can take the according steps to get ahead of it. but no more. It has now become part of my daily routine to set the intentions and to be very observant of those cycles that I've been in the past. I'm not a victim of my circumstances. It's my choice to select a different reality whenever I want. So now I choose unapologetically what I know I deserve. I know I deserve peace, love, abundance, joy, and anything else that I pretty much feel will bring me some form of happiness. Okay, this video is getting a bit long. So if you are intrigued enough to see where this is going, come back for more on Sunday. My intention is to post 2 times a week, Monday and Thursday. So let's see how I get on with that. So thank you for your eyes and ears, and see you next time.